I'm going to read a couple chapters from Baby Drag Queen, which is my first YA novel, actually my first published novel. And it's from Orca Press, which is a great little press in Victoria. Actually, they're not so little, but they're in Victoria and they do a lot of YA publications and children's books. And they're just great to work with. So I'm going to read chapters 8 and chapters 9. And basically, just a little bit of a background. Ichiro is a transgender, multiracial teen, and they're living with their single mother. So this is chapter 8. Morning, Mom. Good morning. I have to head off to work in a few minutes. Where are my keys? Listen, Mom, I have an idea. I want to buy us a camper van. That way we don't have to... Help me find my keys, Ichiro. After I graduate, we can live on the island in Auntie Edna's property. Mom, are you listening? We have just enough money for groceries, okay? Ichiro's mom pushes a $20 bill his way. Can you pick up some milk, bread, soy sauce, veggies, and fruit? I'll get it this time. Keep your money. Save your money for school. I can't pay for university. You know that. I know, but I can buy groceries sometimes. I'm working a lot now. Okay, honey. Mom, what about my plan? Let's talk another time. I have enough for rent this month. Where are my keys? I can fix up a camper van for us. Insurance, gasoline, and repairs cost money too. Plus, I don't think it's a good idea to live with Auntie Edna. I asked her, he says. You what? She said it would be fine. Ichiro, I don't need handouts from my sister. Just until we get better jobs. Maybe I could go to school on the island. I can't talk about this right now. Help me find my keys. I'm going to be late. I have work at the cafe and I'm going to make extra money with banquets. And Ichiro, please. I have to go right now. If you're not going to help me find my keys, then go do something else. Your room is a mess. She looks in the fridge for her keys. No, it's not. It's disorganized because I'm so busy. Your clothes are all over. There are empty bubble tea containers everywhere. Do you think my plan will work, Mom? I just want to get started. She finds the keys in one of the pockets of a jacket on the couch. I have to go now. We'll talk about this another time. She slams the door on her way out. She seems really angry. Ichiro thinks it must be because she doesn't really get along with her sister. They used to fight a lot as kids. Ichiro downs a glass of orange juice before heading out to meet Gia and Lexi at the thrift store. Gia is waiting outside Value Thrift. Ichiro locks up his bike and walks over. Hey, Gia. Lexi just texted. She's on her way. Why are you here, Ichiro? Can't stay away from Lexi? She laughs. Ha ha, picking up a few things for Mom. Besides, I was invited. That's sweet, says Gia, just as Lexi arrives. Sorry I'm a bit late. Let's have some fun. Lexi loops her arms into Ichiro's and Gia's and leads them into the store. The girls head towards the sweaters and start looking through the racks. Ichiro finds a rack labeled costumes and picks up a hot pink jumpsuit. Would this work for drag? He looks around and then heads towards the mirror. He holds it up against his chest and looks at his reflection. Not bad. A couple of older women start to giggle. He ignores them. He moves the sleeves up and down and tries to imagine himself wearing this on stage. It needs something more. He grabs a curly blue wig from a nearby stand and loosely places it on his head. He could get used to this. He doesn't look half bad. He looks at the price tag. It's just $15 for the jumpsuit, but the wig is $35. Plus, he'd still need to buy makeup and do something about his shoes. He looks again at his reflection and knows he'll figure a way out. He twirls around and sees Gia and Lexi watching him. They look puzzled. What are you doing, Ichiro? Asks Gia. Is that something for Halloween? Because I don't think your mom would wear that. Lexi just giggles. Ichiro's face goes red and he throws the jumpsuit and the wig on the floor. I thought it was funny. I'm just playing around waiting for you two. Look what we found. Gia holds up a bulky light gray cardigan. It's so cool. It has pockets and a hood. Looks like it's from the 70s. It will go nicely over a cool button down. What'd you find, Lexi? Ichiro asks. She holds up a knitted leaf lace halter top in a light mauve color. I'm going to try it on. Can you both come with me? I don't know if the look is right for me or not. Sure, says Gia. Ichiro shifts around, keeping his eyes on the items he tossed on the floor. What's wrong with you? Gia asks when Lexi goes into one of the narrow change rooms. Nothing, says Ichiro. You need to loosen up, man. This is supposed to be fun. Yeah, I know I'm a bit stressed. Yeah, I get it, says Gia. But if you like Lexi, you're going to have to chill out. Lexi is super cool, and a couple of other people at school have already asked her out. She pushes Ichiro towards the change room. Get in there. Yikes, not that close, Gia, says Ichiro. Gia laughs. Lexi comes out of the change room. The halter top looks great on her, but Ichiro is shocked by how see-through it is. I guess I should wear a tank underneath, she says. Ichiro doesn't say anything. I love it, says Gia. You look hot. What do you think, Ichiro? It's nice, he says. It makes you look great. Or, I mean, you make it look great. Oh my God, Gia says. Lexi just laughs. Ichiro's phone buzzes. A text from his mom. Sorry about earlier. Talk later. I have some news. Ichiro wonders what that could be about. He notices the time. I have to get to work, he says. This was fun. Thanks. See you later. What about this? Gia asks, holding up the pink jumpsuit and the blue wig. Ichiro runs out of the store. That was chapter 8. I should mention that this YA book is part of Orca's Sounding series. So that's written for students that are reading below grade level. So the sentences are very simple and the dialogue is very clean. And, it's very simple word choice as well. Okay, so this is moving on. This is chapter 9. When Ichiro gets home after his shift, the lights aren't on. This means his mother is still not home. She puts on every light she can when she's home alone. It's after 11. She's usually not this late. Ichiro is looking forward to relaxing a bit. His shift tomorrow doesn't start until 5 in the afternoon. He's got homework to do, but he's going to play some video games until his mom gets home. He wonders again what she wants to tell him. He hopes his grandpa is okay. Mom hasn't mentioned his grandparents recently. He throws his stuff on his bed. Instead of playing video games, he decides to go to his mother's room. He looks at all the lipsticks lined up on her vanity table. He picks one that doesn't look like it gets used much. She might not notice it's missing. He goes back to his room and locks the door. Standing in front of the mirror, he applies it carefully to see how it looks. Not bad. He looks up some drag tutorials on YouTube. Wow, there's so much to learn, so many different kinds of makeup. He's going to start out with the basics. Then there are the outfits. He won't need to worry about padding next. He's also glad he doesn't have to tuck any balls. It all sounds difficult. He's a quick learner, though. He will probably still need a wig, too. This is going to cost him some of his savings for the camper van. He starts practicing his dance routine and lip syncing. It's tough going. He's just a baby drag queen. He needs a lot of help. He checks his email. His first check from the cafe has come in. He looks at the pay stub. A lot has been taken off for taxes. The total is not as much as he was hoping for, especially for all that work. He sits on the edge of his bed and covers his face with his hands. He needs to think about how he's going to be able to do this. His shifts at the cafe and some banquets at school are helping a bit, but he might not have enough in a few months for the down payment. He's starting to feel desperate. He decides to talk to Sam's friend and see if there's any other work that he can do at the club on the youth nights. Just then, he hears his mom's keys in the door. Mom, you're so late. She comes over to give Ichiro a hug. Then she takes off her jacket and collapses on the couch. She pats the cushion beside her. Come, let's talk about that vehicle. What's it called? The camper van, says Ichiro. We buy one and move to the island. I have money saved up. Show me what you mean, she says. Ichiro goes and grabs his laptop. It's small, but we'd only use it for sleeping. There are campgrounds with showers if we move around. This one comes with a portable toilet and sink. Too small, she says. But think of the freedom. You can quit your job and look for something else while I work and go to uni. No, Ichiro, you should be enjoying life with your friends. She trails off and stares at him. What's on? Are you wearing lipstick? Ichiro realizes too late that he has forgotten to take it off. Yes, Mom, it's for a show. I'm thinking of doing drag. There's a club that drag, a club. What do you mean? No daughter of mine is going to a place like that. She makes a funny sour face and shakes her head. Mom, I'm trans. Ichiro feels like he might die. What does that mean? She sounds angry. For me, it means I'm not your daughter. I'm your child, but I'm not a girl. Ichiro, what are you saying? Why are you making my life difficult right now? I can't take this. At this youth club, I can make some extra money. You will not be going to that club. It's not a big deal. It's work. He shrugged his shoulders. Well, then I'm going to start dating my boss. It's what he wants, and it'll make our lives easier. No, Mom, he's glaring at her. Yes, I have to, only for now. He's not that bad. I'll find another job soon. Just wait, please. I'll have enough money for a down payment soon. Auntie Edna said, stop. I don't want to hear any more about her. She's going to help so that we can stop it right now, she yells. But he can't give up. You have to let me do this. Let me help you. No, you stop now. She sounds as if she's going to cry. I'm going to the club and see what Sam's friend has to say. You will not be going to that club, Ichiro. This is going nowhere. Ichiro stomps to his room and slams his door. He's old enough to make his own choices. Although he's always listened to his mother, now he has no choice but to defy her. He can hear her standing outside the door. Ichiro starts playing a video game. He won't be sleeping or doing any homework tonight. His mother bangs on his door and tries to open it. She's never been this mad before. He can hear her sobbing outside his door, but he can't open it tonight. After a few minutes, she finally leaves. And that's 2 chapters from Baby Drag Queen. Thank you. And I'm just going to read, I've got a few more minutes here, so I'm just going to read a couple of flash fiction pieces from This Will Only Take a Minute. And this is by Guernica Press. And these are more geared towards adult audience. So the first one I'll read is called Risotto Interrupted. It was your birthday, so you invited her and your friends over to celebrate. It was just you and her in the kitchen. You were cooking mushroom risotto, and as anyone who has cooked risotto knows, it's a delicate process requiring concentration and precise timing. You distractedly talked small talk. Then she mentioned her move away into a 1920s apartment, which sounded like it had a similar layout to yours, except it's a 1-bedroom and not a studio. Then you did that terrible thing that you never do, but you couldn't control yourself, and you said with intensity, I'm really going to miss you. And then, that piece by John Cage called 4 minutes and 33 seconds? This would have been 8 minutes and 66 seconds because that's how long the silence lasted. As a friend, couldn't she have even said something like, I'll miss you too, or you should come and visit? Instead, she said, but I'm really looking forward to it. With your clumsy recovery skills, you chimed in, but it will be really good for you to go back to school. You've never said that to anyone before. She probably couldn't really care less what you think, but still there was something hanging in the air between the two of you that seemed like an intense tenderness. You know she felt it too because she wouldn't move from the kitchen. You wanted her to leave because you felt like a big-ass fool. Why won't she leave, you thought? Usually she's dashing off somewhere or she's checking her phone for texts from one of the loser guys that she's dating. I can't cook this risotto properly. It's fucking starting to burn at the bottom of the pot, you think, frantically stirring while the liquid reduces itself. Just then you hear someone yelling your name outside your second-floor kitchen window from the side of the building. God, don't these people know they have these things called buzzers now for apartment buildings? Today, at the most inappropriate time ever, your friends are yelling at you to say that they are here. So you need help. The risotto needs to be watched because it's at a critical stage and neither you nor her want to leave the kitchen. You ask your wacky friend in the other room entertaining her friend if she would please let S and her boyfriend in. I'm cooking the risotto and I can't leave. Finally, she says she will go. Thank God, you think, but at the same time, you don't want her to leave the kitchen. By the time everyone is back upstairs, your friends come to greet you in the kitchen. You have recovered slightly, but want them to leave so that the hot girl will come back and just stand near you. You see her motion to, but she stops at the entrance because the kitchen is now horribly full. I'll just read the next one, which is called Leap Year. It's almost the exact same spot that we sat in years ago. Spanish tapas, now a Mexican restaurant. No manchego and figs. No more marinated olives and crispy chickpeas. Fist-sized burritos, lager on tap, and a Tex-Mex menu. I chose the date of February 29th thinking that one day it would mean something to us. Or maybe I knew that there'd eventually be a story for me to write. Nothing huge, but something about the cobblestones and blood alley, the new yellow metal chairs, and the fresh crowds, perhaps. The server flirted with you. Maybe you knew him. They all act as if they know you intimately. They definitely want to know you. You were asking about wine. This leap year, Adam comes over and introduces himself to me. I ordered the veggie burrito and a local Vancouver lager. A painted black unicorn farts out a rainbow on the wall behind the kitchen, and I don't know why it's here of all places. After his shift, the Asian cook comes over and sits beside me at the bar. I think he wants me to tell him my story, but I can't because the 80s music is too loud. I cross the street to the Diamond and order a Last Islander cocktail. Aged island rum, Scotch, citrus, and Jamaican bitters. It tastes like shit. I'm sitting at the same high top table to the left of the one we sat at that night. If you walked in with your husband. This is the second leap year that I've waited. The light is glowing soft orange, and I'm sitting in a room full of fuzzy, warm shadows. If you walked in alone. The secret room is no longer secret anymore. I wonder if you know this. The wall has been chipped away, and there is a diamond-shaped entrance to that second bar. The Brazilian service has happened before she started, and she's only worked here for 2.5 years. She asks why I'm all dressed up. I have no answer, or rather, no good answer. I tell her something, but it doesn't matter what. Remember, we were so drunk that we were slipping off the high stools, but we kept conversing until after 2 a.m. So drunk that I mistook something you said in the cab for a no, probably. I didn't realize this until much later. The next day? By then it was too late. I remembered wanting to walk you home instead of taking a cab. I wanted to kiss you in a typical dark, gray, and rainy alleyway of Vancouver. I cap off the evening with the Tiger Breath cocktail. The jalapeno honey makes it sweet, and I raise my glass to what could have been us. This is still my favorite bar in Vancouver, but I will only visit on February 29th. And I think I'll stop there. And what's interesting is the Diamond is actually closed now, so I will not be able to ever go back there on February 29th, at least unless it becomes another place, but then it won't be the Diamond. But thanks for listening, everyone.